Started. We all know how this starts, right? So what are our bucket fills and what's good going on right now?
I have to thank Rick.
I have to thank
Is this being recorded? Is this being recorded? Please record it. So I can play it all
I
over.
was closing the Lake Minnetonka listing yesterday. It's a big one for me. It was 2.7. And the buyer does the walkthrough and determines that the built-ins are no longer built-in because they redid the floors. So this bookcase, I just thought, I'm gonna go over there and I'll get it to the curb, no big deal. Well, I like forgot how massive this thing was. It was 3 sections, top pieces and lower pieces, and I was about to have a nervous breakdown because I had to get it out. And
Yeah.
Rick, and he met me over there. I walked across the street, asked the guy in the house across the street for a dolly, and he happened to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he said, well, I can come help. I need a
He
break.
was like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
That guy's bucket and Rick's, it was amazing. It would have taken probably 2 hours, 30 minutes.
That's awesome.
Can I just say something
Thank you.
about that? No worries. But I want to say that guy, I mean, seriously, this guy across the street, just an arbitrary neighbor, decided in the middle of the day, on a work day, that he was gonna come over and move this absolutely massive desk by hand. You know, and he's a lender, that, you know, of a company that I hadn't heard of, and he started talking about Keller agents and these great connections and stuff. And I just want to say that like totally restored my faith in humanity because
Name Drew.
Bitch.
No, I was like, I know a Drew that's really ripped and he's a lender. I can see him like coming to save the day.
just like who does that? You know what I mean?
Today.
Yeah,
So that was impressive.
that's awesome. All right, who can beat the guy that, you know, just came over and lifted up some books? Anything else good out there? You celebrated a birthday.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fill my own bucket out my
Well,
first.
that's not a fill a bucket. That's like a something good.
That was something good.
Yeah,
27.
awesome. 2 more.
Oh, the happy hour last week was awesome.
Yeah,
That was good.
really good.
Missed it.
I did miss it because I was at the game. I was like, I did miss it. Kids. What'd you guys talk about?
What did we talk about?
It was that good. The happy hour
It was
that
good,
good.
but we just talked about, you know, keeping, you know, focus, momentum, and like nurturing the relationships. Just
Goals.
goals.
Cool.
Like finish the year strong.
Awesome. One more. Good stuff going on. Jesse's looking at me like, I should think of something or I want to talk, maybe. I don't know. All right. I'm not going to make you say something good, but remember, we do this every single week. And I know that there has to be some good things in your life, right? And if we don't focus on those things, the rest of it takes over, right? Awesome. Next. This is something good. So we've got the costume party and the vision boarding next Thursday at 11 o'clock. We also have lunch right afterwards, correct? So if you have magazines, bring them in. If you don't, you can print things out. We have other people bringing in magazines. It's going to be fun. And bring a costume because we have some fun voting going on creative costumes. Heather's dressing up.
You don't have to.
I don't know about that, but you should. You don't have to, but you should. It's highly encouraged. You'll get bonus points from the team leader. Any questions about that?
And we provide the boards, right? The boards, the markers.
Yep, we've got blue. We just need your ideas and your vision and put it to the paper.
Oh, Heather, did you want to talk about this?
We just wanted to remind you
Okay.
all, with bold starting and coming around the corner, if you're not using a dialer, your dialers include the do not call numbers on it. So you're always good to go there. But if you're not using a dialer, no, you're not.
You can opt out on the dialer, so make sure that it always says that those are excluded from it, because it'll show what it scrubs. And I think sometimes you can opt in, to actually call those numbers, so you have to be careful.
Okay, so double check your dialers, but if you need, we do have a, membership, whatever, to the do not call list, which we have always had. And if anybody wants information on logging into that, how you get into that, feel free to let me know. And you can just actually download and print a list of the do not call numbers. It's a little long. There are a lot of numbers on it, but it is a way that we do have this option always here for you. So just keep that in mind.
Perfect. And I would just say, it's not something to play with, and you'll take the liability, and the market center's not going to bail you out. So, on the opt-out of do not calls, don't opt out, even though the numbers seem like there just aren't as many. I get it, but especially during bold, we don't want to play around with it.
Because part of that too is if we send out an email that says this person, truly do not contact them, do not contact them. Like put them on your list, do not contact, because I'm guessing they've had multiple phone calls when it expires or people are circle prospecting. So just be cautious of that.
So any of that log information, reach out to me and we've got you covered.
This is you. She just sits back there and smiles.
Hi, guys. Good morning.
Welcome
So,
back.
Thank you. My name is Kayla Johnson. I do some engagement with Great North Title. In the back, we have Team Mel. She is our closer, and her office is now right down the hall for convenient. And then this is her processor, Jackie. So they are a phenomenal team. Hopefully everyone has had a great chance to interact with them, engage with them, learn from them. One thing that we like to do is we like to provide value to you guys. So yeah. One thing too, you guys, okay, who wants me to stand up here and tell you about how we're the best title company in the world?
Oh, okay.
No, thank you, because I don't want to stand up here and tell you guys that. I would like to show you. I'd also like to leave you guys with little pieces of me. And I think that when you ask people, hey, what do you do? And you're a real estate agent, right? And I would like to ask you why, like what brought you to be a real estate agent? And not because of the reason I like to help people, like that one that everybody says. So if you were to ask me, why did you become a marketer or an engagement specialist at Great North Title, I would tell you because I got an opportunity to work with Britt. She's our CEO, and Mel was a part of that as well. And I was in the middle of a surrogacy journey, and my best friend is also a sister. And Britt was starting Great North, and there was no better place for me to be than that small little family with Mel and the rest of the group at Great North Title. It was a really important time in my life where I needed to decide what I wanted to do and where I needed to go, and Britt was that path for me. So that's what led me here, and I'd encourage all of you guys to ask each other kind of the same, what brought you guys to the stage and catch Mel or Jackie Boy. What brought them to me? So if I could tell you guys I have a tool for you that would help grow your business, use it. Yeah, okay. Bye.
That's a normal response.
Good. Was that actually kind of like a little more?
That was, yeah, I was actually a little jealous about that response.
Thank you. If everybody could take out their phones, this is a QR code. It is for a title quote tool that we offer for free. We like to add value to you guys. We like to make sure that you guys are always in the know and giving your clients the best options, transparency, all the good things. So if you want to sign up for our quote tool, I will have you scan this QR code. Maybe we can email this out as well towards the end, if that's possible. So you guys can have a second chance if you guys don't get it right now. But the next slide is going to talk a little bit more about it. So you guys, I know you guys have some tools already that you can pull a seller net sheet for. But this one is really cool because it's going to allow you to put in all the XYZs, so fees, commission, blah, blah, blah.
But the important thing is all of your government fees, the title fees, everything is gonna, recording fees, everything's gonna be in here in this quote. You can print a PDF, so you can pull every single scenario that your sellers are gonna have and help them choose the best option, what they're gonna walk away with. And kind of just the different ways, obviously, that are creative of writing a PA. So it's kind of nice to see where they're getting, funds from, or where they're getting, discounts, or what are offering, things like that. So
Side note, you also need this in command when closing a file that your seller needs to sign. It's the perfect tool for that if you are having troubles doing that each time you hand in a check.
it is super user friendly, very convenient, and we've gotten a lot of great feedback just with the transparency for your client. And then I believe the next one talks about our buyer quote as well, and it does a couple other things in the app. They call it an app. It is a little, if you sign up for the app, you can put the app on your phone. It'll just bring you to the link on app picture that you can put. But that is, these are the other features that it has. So sellers, multiple offers, rent versus buy, order title, marketing flyers, and then there's a buyer quote tool here as well. So lots of cool things in there for you guys to use. Love to provide value, knowledge, all the things for you guys. I believe that is.
Do you have any questions?
Awesome.
Awesome, thank you.
You.
I look good, folks.
Really? That's all we got?
I want to put my face on that, I'll just say.
Like, come up.
No, so what we thought was gonna happen with the positive, turn rate wise, got ruined by the jobs report. It came in here and we're seeing rates kind of going back the other way. So I've switched from kind of wait and see kind of mentality to more of a lean heavily lock. If somebody's got a contract, let's lock in the rate and go forward. There's not worth it, to sit on it and see and think and hope and pray. Ideally, any lender that you're working with probably has that same stance and or has something that can protect the borrowers on the backside. We've got a free float down that we do, so if something positive does happen and rates drop, we can protect them on the high side and then get the benefit on the way down. So that's just something to be aware of with that. But if you're talking with your folks, like, I think the encouragement should be if you're happy with the payment, you can afford it, you're qualified at it, take it and run on that end. So there's a lot of volatility coming up probably into the middle of November. Obviously, we know the election's coming up. There's 2 job reports. There's a jobs report right after the election. That's what the market is really looking at right now. So if the market for a job report is strong, bad for rates on that end. So just something to pay attention to there. That's where we're going. So we're sitting mid 6s right now. We might sneak back up to 7. So just be aware not to be a downer.
Can we talk about that for a second though? Because we've been talking about rates for what, 6 weeks-ish, like pretty every week about something that's going on. And again, what have we been saying is it's not something that you can pinpoint what's actually going to happen, right? Because it was going down, everyone was saying, not just here, but just like nationally and like the economy. And yesterday on our regional call as well, we had Ruben, who's the economist for KW. I mean, he goes through every number you could possibly think of. And he was talking about the same thing in regards to jobs, right? Because the way that was reporting is, oh, there's all these, like, unemployment's down, but people still don't have the same options, right? The job openings aren't there, which is, there's so many things that go into play on this. So when people are saying, I'm going to wait, or this is what's going to happen, ask them how they know. Because nobody knows. Nobody actually knows this. And if they do know, they're someone that is way high up somewhere doing something that you don't even want to know. Okay. So, I mean, but honestly, like when they're sitting here, you're playing with people's lives with it, right? Because I think a lot of times as real estate professionals, we're like, oh, this is what's going to happen. You have no clue what's going to happen. You don't. I don't. So, I mean, when you look at this, it shifted very quickly within 2 weeks. I mean,
Yeah, now it's just, yeah.
but the conversation switched very
Big
quickly.
time,
So in regards to that, our job again is to make sure that we're informing them on what can happen and why they're really doing what they're doing, why they're selling, why they're buying.
Go to the next one. So something to, I guess, kind of help on that when you're talking to people, right? So the national housing, new construction data came out, so the completions went down a little bit, but they're actually higher than they were 2019. Building permits too, which is an indication of what they're doing, still higher than we were prior to the pandemic, which is interesting there. And I thought this was an interesting one. This was 2008. We dropped down here, right? We're still digging out from that as far as just capacity. We don't have enough single family or homes for people on that end. So when people ask about what's going to happen, home prices, they're going to come down, they're going to crash, they're in a bubble, they're all that kind of stuff. I think it still falls back to the basic economics of supply and demand. Got no supply and a ton of demand. So we're going to see prices keep appreciating on that. And so when you're chatting with people, work that in on that knowledge base, and you can leverage this. I think we're 10 years or 15 years of like substantial growth in new construction buildings to catch up. And that's if we do substantial building in that world, which more years. Yeah. And that would maybe get us to where we needed to be on that. So
And let's-
2008 killed it because obviously all the small builders, everybody stopped building.
Well, and part of that is there can still be shifts in the price point. I mean, let's be honest. I think it was Tony and I were talking today, like 1.5 is now 2.5.
Right.
And that happened in a short period of years as well, where I'm like, yes, it might still come down. That doesn't mean that those prices aren't gonna shimmy down a little bit.
Right.
But it's not just gonna drop.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's not just gonna be this huge bubble that people are waiting for.
Right. The things that created the 2008 bubble are no longer allowed to happen. So it's just something to pay attention to. Any thoughts or questions on those last two things?
Smaller is it?
This is national, yeah, it's not local. So this is, so Minnesota, obviously, the guys will have to dig in and figure out what it is here, but this is national, and we usually kind of follow the same trends.
What questions do you guys have around these numbers or?
Thoughts or want to talk about? No?
These are things that most people are not talking about right now at all in real estate, right? We're talking a lot of different agents, companies are not talking about these things, right? This is how you future pace what next year is going to look like, is watching this and seeing where it's going. To help also make sure that your business is not in a bubble that can get popped, right? It's one where you're saying, okay, hey, great. If I do this, I can stay consistent. All right. If my luxury listings are going down, now I need to look here. If first time home buyers are coming up because interest rates are going down, you know what I mean? Like, this is how you can kind of shift and rearrange your business to make sure you're successful in any market. So pay attention to these numbers.
My question was just if it's single family, or are condos and townhouses included within that, or is that a separate thing?
This. On that, it's not including the condos on that. I think, what I've seen with condos, the condo market has slowed down on building because, especially in Minnesota, because they built so many at this point. So that has slowed a little bit on that end. Multifamily, I don't know, but I know that kind of is lagged behind single family forever because the zoning is an issue. There's a lot of issues that come in. This is more representative of the single family.
I guess I'll be vulnerable here and ask probably a pretty basic question that I don't know the answer to, but why is it that when job report is good, like there's more jobs, then
They feel like they don't have to release more money into the system on that end, right? Basically, Fed's only tool is really like the supply of money going down, right? So if inflation's too high, you don't want more money into the system because more people can buy stuff. It's just going to keep pushing it up, right? So if that's coming under, but if the job reports are good, it means people are getting the employment, they don't need it, the positive stuff on that. So it's usually the inverse. Positive information for normal people, negative for rich. This. Job report came out last Thursday. Yep, and then, so they do, there's multiple job reports, but this was a big one that came in and, it was the Bureau of Labor Statistics came out and it was way higher than. Well, and then back to the bold special, free appraisal, something to gauge your buyers, if you got buyers, right? Going back to the last slide, if you got buyers, it might be a good time to buy before prices kind of go up, even if rates are a little higher right now. You can get a free appraisal, or the next one, you can also do our rate buster, which is the 1% lower for 12 months. You can use that on your listings too. On that, if you want to try and engage buyers and bring people in, we can also talk about other temporary buy down programs on that, but this is one that we can just, here you go, right? Because you're looking at my home, I can offer you that. Or you can go the free appraisal, whatever is easier. Sometimes simple is easier. Rate buster takes a little bit more explanation on the benefit of it, but it is substantial. And then the next one is just remember, please let us help with any open house support, whatever you guys need on that. Just give us a heads up, let me know. We'll put together some flyers, we'll bring you food, we'll do whatever it takes to help you have a successful open house. So just let us know on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have one more. It's you.
All right.
We have a lot of fun speakers today.
All right. So I'm Tom Hudak, one of the commercial and resident real estate agents here in the office. My office is right next to Kevin's, so you're at Kevin's office for good or for bad. I definitely want to be here more. My work, I'll talk to you a little bit about this because I'm out of the office, but I'll talk to you about kind of my odd way of getting to into real estate. So I was actually in advertising and marketing for many years prior to getting my real estate license. And what I actually developed was actually a couple different businesses related to craft beer, marketing and consulting. In 2019, I actually added another business called Craft Buildings, specific commercial real estate. And so very quickly, I saw there was a need for an opportunity within the commercial real estate market to add in value to other clients. So I actually got licensed after hearing all the bad stories that my clients went through on the just absences, not knowing what they're signing. These are major things that can literally cripple or shut down a business. So again, I wanted to help people like everyone does in real estate, but I wanted to essentially add it to what I was already providing in services, and doing that ever since. So one cool, we can go to the next slide. One of the cool things that I have done includes, obviously on the commercial side, helping find a building that might fit. That could be, I can find something that's existing, helping with construction, etc. So we can go to the next slide. So one of the services I do help a lot is with new construction consulting. So disclaimer, I'm not a general contractor, I'm not an architect, I'm not a designer, but I do work closely with those people and kind of bring teams together based on the project. So just like real estate, I found a project management hat a lot of the times to help manage projects. So go to the next slide. One of projects I have had fun of doing, I just came back from Turks and Caicos. So that's a Keller Williams office down in Turks and Caicos. It's always fun to stop in and know that it's a write-off if you actually have.
I actually did the same in Montana.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there's the Keller office.
Look up your Keller Williams office when you're on vacation, and if you have coffee or something, you could write off a portion of your travel. Again, I'm not a tax or an accountant, but that's a writable write-off expense. So again, this is in Turks and Caicos, island just north of like the and Puerto Rico. So pretty well protected from hurricanes. But one of my clients, who go to the next slide, is down there. They're called Turk's Head Breweries, or they're pretty much like Red Stripe of Jamaica. They are like the island craft brewery. So the last year and a half, we've been working on a new tap room for them. So some dramatic designs. Go to the next slide. But I was able to do a site visit and actually see the progress. So again, a lot of work has gone into this particular tap room. Everyone works in island time there. So this was supposed to be done probably a couple of months ago. We're waiting on some
We're
toilets,
there.
some key things to make this function. So most likely Christmas this will be done. We can go through some other photos, but it's been fun. Again, this is just like an industrial building. Outside bar that they've been working on. Go to the next slide. Other thing. Other services that I offer to on the commercial side is just seeing if something fits. A lot of times I know maybe traditional commercial real estate agents are just in the business of into a lease and just kind of going with what a client might be asking. So I really try to get a really good analysis, especially on like small businesses. If someone's starting up, like going through their business and really understanding what their financials and stuff might be. Because that's key information that a landlord is going to ask for anyway. And if we can get someone set up for success, regardless of what industry it is, it's a lot better in the long run. And each year, potentially, I would get paid on a lease renewal too. So it's in my best financial interest to make sure someone's in a good financial. So, but yeah, so kind of a fun take on real estate. And a lot of people say, you know, there's not just maybe traditional buckets. I've kind of taken the interesting spin on this and had the ability to go around and talk about this particular niche of real estate throughout the years. I'll be in Austin starting tomorrow for a couple of days for our KW summit down there, and probably we'll talk a little bit about this side of.
Who's in for our next happy hour in Turkey? I'm totally in.
Day trip.
If you wanna like, you know, we could do a group just to take a look at it. I'm in. I think we'll all sign up. You have a question?
Question, just, my parents are going Turks and Caicos in
Yeah.
January, what's the name of that?
You're like, oh, what's the name of that?
So Turk's Head Brewery. And you'll find it, and it's all over all the resorts. But Turk's Head, yeah, they do tours. You're welcome to go there. You can ask for Dave. He's the brewery manager. He might give you a special
Dave.
tour.
I'll tell them that.
And then I might have one or two more slides. Yeah, we'll pass this for now. Let's talk about this. So if you have a residential client, again, someone that is maybe looking to sell off something, their vacation home or something too, you can always talk to them about what they might want to do with their money. One thing could be to defer their tax obligations through like a 1031 exchange. I think we've maybe talked about this in different communities, but that's a really interesting way of doing it. Or if they want to get into commercial real estate as a passive or more of an active landlord, welcome to contact any one of us here in the office. We have a really good lot of
Is it, are your clients with like the craft brews, is that each specifically owned separately, or is there investors or?
So a lot of times it is individually owned. Sometimes you find a group of people or a group of investors that they might have been in a restaurant before or something, or maybe they're in multifamily and they're like, oh, it's still kind of that flashy, cool thing.
Yeah.
Or something. So there are pools of money that people are out there saying, we have absolutely no idea what to do, but we have money, help us. So that's an ideal. Usually we're chasing money.
Awesome. Any questions around this at all? No?
Can I give a plug?
Yeah.
You brought up 1031, and we are actually having a person on November 7th coming in for free CE talking about 1031 exchanges. So you want to find out more about that, and then another thing to talk to your clients about, and then potentially like send them to our commercial agents to continue that conversation, so.
Also as a reverse too. We just have a client now that actually uses that, so it's actually buying where you're selling, but you will shelter your money, yeah, that product's out there.
Awesome. Anything else? Who wants to start craft?
I know, it sounds just women.
Thank you. So what's really cool about that is we're gonna start doing different commercial spotlights, right? Because I think I've talked over and over about how residential is not just on its own island, right? It's not on its own island without having parts of the economy in it, as well as the commercial aspect of it. And if you haven't introduced yourself to the commercial agents or even like taken them out, had coffee, asked them what they do, it'd be really beneficial, right? Because number one, the commercial's doing a lot different things than residential is right now for various different reasons. And understanding that can just be really helpful when you're working with clients that are potentially, I mean, hey, I've got this building, or I want to start, a yoga room, or there are so many things that come up in conversation with real estate that we have resources for, you just might not know about. So it's gonna be fun to hear that spotlight each month. And hopefully, yeah.
Everybody knows we do also.
Yes, I use Great North.
See, there you go. Awesome. All right, so we have been doing, I think I introduced this book, 3 weeks ago, maybe 4 weeks ago. We are having some of them on order and we'll have them here to purchase. Again, this is one where I highly recommend you take a look at it. I highly recommend you take this book when we get them, purchase it from us, and go through what makes sense for you in different times, right? So not only is it step-by-step how to do an open house, how to leverage, how to do events, there's mindset pieces, there's, I don't want to say scripting, but conversations and what to say by Phil Jones in it. So we're taking at least one page each week, and we're not going through the whole page. So I've given you homework and it's up to you. I'm not going to check your homework, but the reason I'm saying to do it is because it's going to be beneficial to you and your business. So last week we had John going, or maybe it was the week before, John went through some different things in regards to goal setting. And this week we're doing 10 steps to maximizing your potential. We are going to get through maybe 2 of those 10 steps. How many of you went through the things we didn't get through the last 2 times? There was like 2 people last time. Ooh, there's like 3 people now. Okay, awesome. So step 1, does everybody have a piece of paper in front of you? Show me through? Yes. Okay. Also, how many people went to business planning or started business planning? Okay, a few of you. So step 1, when you look at it, it says, recognize the need for change and think big. I'm going to have you flip that sheet over or put it into your notepad in your phone. I want you to be really honest with yourself while we do this, right? Because I think we can hide from what the honest truth is, what we want to write down versus what we feel like is appropriate to write down. If there's one thing right now that you're not doing in your business that's holding you back, what is it? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Think about this. Second. right, I'm gonna ask for 3 people to share. Talking to more people about real estate. Okay? Okay? Awesome. 2 more. In what way?
I plan every day on my computer. I got squirrel.
Okay.
Be more
Okay. Awesome. What else?
being direct. Girls.
Okay.
Stress.
Anyone else want to share?
It kind of goes with the consistency, but it's like,
Okay.
For anything, I think, when the Monday thing may be out.
And it doesn't have to be long periods of time. Like, if you're efficient, it can be a very short period of time, right? Like, you just have to do it. Yep, absolutely.
So that, her stepson, coach, she was like, I have 3 full-time jobs, but I do 3 hours a week because, you know, I'm focused and I'm doing it.
So that's kind of the next part of this, right? So it's consistency, it's potentially getting torn off into multiple different directions, right? I think that there's beauty in being an entrepreneur and owning your own business. And there's a curse to that, right? Because the only person that is keeping track of your time, your efficiencies, and your productivity is you. Unless you're meeting with me. Then might be me too. But that's not daily. Whatever you wrote down in regards to something that, you know, you want to do more or you aren't doing enough of, why are you not doing that right now? I'm gonna give you like 3 or 4 minutes to do this. Why are you not doing that? Can you write down that answer of why? Reread it. And really ask yourself if that's the truth. Seconds. Five people.
Here.
Okay. Fear in it.
Well, back at, read it again. Fine.
By the way, anyone that's sharing today, I really appreciate the vulnerability, because it's not easy to share. Yet I guarantee other people are thinking the exact same thing or something similar, which means that you're not alone. So, thank you. Wendy?
I heard a thing by Dr. Benjamin Hardy that he said if we are not taking action on something, it's due to one of three things, or maybe a combination. But the first one is that you don't have a really compelling reason to want to do it. The second one is you lack a clear path, like you don't have clarity about, I need to do this, and then this, and then this. You don't have a clear path forward. And the third one is you don't believe you can do it. And, you know, when I look at what is keeping me from taking action on things, I ask myself those three questions. Like, is it I just don't have a good enough reason why I'm ready to get uncomfortable and go get after it? Or is it that I just don't have clarity, mental clarity about what specifically I need to do so I can get after it? You know? Or is it that I just I don't? And, you know, it could be any one of those things at any given time. And I think, and a couple of the things that I'm struggling with is that I don't have clarity about my specific steps. And those, so that's something that I can, you know, maybe call my resources. Hey, people who are good at this, how can you help me figure out what are the steps I'm lacking?
The first question was deep follow-up. The reason I'm not doing it, almost comes up with what he just said, I catch myself, it's easier for me to like find new leads and do the research, and they go, get set up for an appointment, than to, like, I don't have, not that I don't have the resources, but that's almost, like he said, maybe I just don't know, like a decent way to follow up to this. You're real needy.
Yeah.
Yes. Even though other things might be even more difficult, they also got a set process on reaching out and how to conversation with us. That was the problem.
Awesome. I mean, not awesome. Two more.
Say fear of the unknown. So
Okay.
if you do, what happens? If you don't, what happens? If you're successful in whatever it is, what will be the expectation and or requirement? And if you fail, what will be the consequence? Or how will you recover?
Getting to something.
Scarcity. Where there's around an environment, there's a. My father drives it probably said. So for me, there's also like, this thing. I'm nervous of this, I get to be the trail in my. The overwhelming.
So we've had two questions. What it was, why? Third one is, where is it keeping you, or where is it keeping you out of by not doing it? Maybe what dreams or goals are you not hitting because of not doing it? That are relying on you. What are you unable to provide in memories or whatever is important to you?
32nd.
Let's just share this one. Rick,
So my son is en route to move to Reno, Nevada right now. Just packed him up yesterday and shipped him out. It's 2023. And you know, he's gonna be there for at least a year, so he's got a year lease, and so we're talking about, okay, well, this has never happened. We've never had a kid. We've never had any of our family move, and all my siblings and all that, so. We wanna be able to get out there and visit him. We want to be able to have resources for him to come back, you know, and, you know, for the holidays and stuff. That's just so real. Like you just wanna make sure that we've got enough to be able to do that.
who else?
Question was, where's keeping you or where's keeping you out of?
Yeah, like what goals are you not hitting or, you know, for instance, like being able to visit or back. Out, to need it. Then we can call it. I don't know what, you know,
I went a little more metaphorically.
Yeah.
It's keeping me in the small version of myself that I'm comfortable with, rather than pushing outside the bounds of being big enough or brave enough to fly, embrace the whole version of who you can become and yet scary.
I think the fact that you're sharing that, if I could say so. For a lot of things, right? If she was at a team that was different. And the growth you've had in the last few weeks is incredible to watch. Like, and it's incredible to speak to you on things that you've done just in a short time period. And I think part of this whole journey, right, is that's personal. We think it's all business, but it's not. Right? Most of the things I'm guessing that you just wrote down have nothing to do truly with it. There's money, right? The money funds everything else, but it has nothing to do. I don't think anyone said open up a brand new something new. Nobody put that, I guarantee it. Right? The whole purpose of this whole conversation and working through this is we talk all about what our goals are. And people come to me and say, I'm not meeting it, right? Or I'm not there, or it's mindset, or whatever it might be. It never comes down to, gonna be direct. It usually doesn't come down to you doing the things that you said you. I rarely am sitting in front of someone in a coaching appointment that said, man, I've been consistently doing the things I said I was gonna do to meet that goal and I didn't. Rarely that happens. Why? Because of all the things you guys said in the first question that I asked, right? Discipline, clarity. We're not going to end on the negative, what you wouldn't have in your life, right? What I want you to do is I want you to paint a picture of you doing the thing that you said you aren't doing and what that would look like in 6 months, maybe a year. I don't care what the time frame is. But you doing exactly what you said you aren't doing now, how would your life look different? How would it make you feel? What would you be doing? Who'd be there? Guarantee there will be 5 people that'll share this. This is the fun one. Who wants to start? Start her off, Greg.
Just, I'm not that patient waiting for someone else to start. I think this is what would happen. This is some self-awareness. I would be nice and people would appreciate spending time with me and being around me because I could be focused on them and caring about them and not so much constantly thinking in my head, what do I got to do to develop my business more? What do I have to do to make everything work? You know, it would just be a lot more organized. And when I'm doing the work, I'm doing the work well. And when I'm not, I'm doing that well. And that's the missing piece. Is anybody else in this room, when they're like with family or you're out or whatever, you just get consumed by thoughts of your work and your job? It's just been one of the hardest things. It's the challenging thing in this business.
No, I think all what you said is fair, right? Because I think a lot of times we don't know how to divide time, right? Because if we're in lack, it's like I need to be doing X, Y, and Z because otherwise what will happen if I don't? If you're not in lack or you don't feel like you are, that time is very different. Until it's like you have to have that time. And then you're forced to it. And there's probably an issue on both sides then, right? Well, who else wants to share what it would look like? I'm gonna be on the beach drinking beer at the new brewery.
Call it a mothering child. And, I love being a mom.
Yeah.
So many parts to it. I'm so great to have. And to not be limited within a structure that makes motherhood as a stay at home where, you know, you're feeling guilty about even working and all of that. So just wherever I am, I want to take those, take my son along, bring along the teacher and learn about Turks and Caicos and the world.
You met Jelena? She hasn't started yet. She's going to Guatemala though, and with her kid in January. You guys should chat.
I haven't told him yet.
Oh my God. Well. I know there's one more.
I think we would be surprised and delighted by the fact that when you give yourself without borders, or you're able to actually invest in where you are at the moment without thinking about all the other things, I think that we might be surprised about what comes back at us. You're giving your full self rather than just of it. Can people embrace you differently? Embrace it differently? Does the conversation change, or do you ask for questions? There's always new pathways.
Yeah. Yeah. Love that. All right, so we got through step 1, slightly into step 2. I highly recommend going through these 10 steps and just writing down what comes to mind when you think of it, right? Because all of this ends up being an inner journey, obviously, at the same time as you're doing your business. I mean, Rick said it, you're not nice sometimes. But you come across differently to people when you're in a positive mindset and you feel confident in yourself, in where you're at in life. It comes across completely different. It also doesn't come across salesy when you're doing your job and you have a purpose, you have a passion, and you enjoy doing it. I think we've all been in scenarios where you go in and you're like, oh, this person like really enjoys what they're doing and they're not attached to whether or not I'm their client. And then we've had the one where you're like, if they don't get a sale, I can feel them breathing down my neck. And I guarantee all of us have been in both of those scenarios before. Where someone walks into your open house and you're like, I need this sale, because if I don't get this sale, it's gonna be a problem. And I'm not gonna be able to do what I needed to do or pay for what I needed to pay for. And if you've never been in that scenario, awesome. But I guarantee we have. Because the blessing of real estate is we have our commission in our pocket before it actually closes. And it's not there, right? And then something falls apart and then you need something to happen. Take these. Next meeting, I'm gonna actually ask who does this. You don't have to do all of it. Do some of it. And I hope that you come back and at least half the room says that they've done some of it. Not because it's like a fun thing that I just want to put on your plate, but because I think in some of these questions and some of these little excerpts, you're going to find something that's going to maybe change your mindset, right? Maybe find some different like thing that you weren't thinking about that's going to help you set goals for next year. Is that fair?
I was saving something on my phone because I got a son that's gonna have a baby, first grandchild, so. Kind of what Rick was bringing up, to send this to all dads, then it could go, it could go to, obviously it can go to mothers as well. Dads aren't angry, you think he's angry, just overwhelmed. Feeling like everything he does is wrong, no matter how hard he works. Working dads never quit, will never ask for help or acceptance. They will keep showing up no matter what. This goes for mothers as well. And for that, I say thank you, all the other.
Awesome. Send me that. No. Any questions, comments?
This makes a great dinner talk. Just saying. It does, but if you have a partner or somebody, like, these are great conversations to have, because
Doesn't even have
you're
to
not
be
going alone, like.
or friends or anything. I mean, whoever your support group is, right? Like, I think a lot of us don't want to talk about business with friends. It's not about business. It's about their life. Your friends have goals too. Just because they're not in real estate and they don't own a business, or maybe they do own a business, they still have goals. Or maybe they don't know how to even like talk about goals. Maybe nobody's ever even asked them. I don't think we realize sometimes we're in an environment that is very different than every other environment. When I talk to friends that are in the corporate world, these conversations aren't had. Not even close. When I talk to friends that are in other industries, no way. I talk to the moms that are stay-at-home moms. They're just searching and being like, I wish that I could have these conversations. Not because they don't want to. No one has them with them. Go and connect with the people in your world and ask them the same questions that I ask you. Maybe shift them differently, right? But I guarantee it'll help you connect with them. All right, wants and needs. Oh yeah, fill out your ticket. Did you hand out the ticket?
They're around.
Okay, find your ticket, put it in the thing. We have a quarterly drawing for a $500 gift card. So put your ticket in there. You just gotta write your name legible on the one side. Wendy.
I got a new listing in Eden Prairie. It's like essentially like a patio home or whatever. HOA is only 125. It's 3-bed, 3-bath. They're adding another bathroom downstairs, so we can go bath. It'll be coming on in February, but they're open to pre-active off-market showings. So about 400,000 for between their 450.
Where was it?
Single family, yep, and HOA is 125. They do all the yard work and the garbage, and I don't know if they do rental. It's a 2-story, yep, full basement. It is off Bramlow, south of Pioneer.
What else?
Listing in, Maple Grove that will be coming soon today. 4 bedrooms, 4 baths, 2-story brick, very pretty, near Boston Scientific. 660 starting at, and then, we also have one in Highland Park, St. Paul. Cutest mid-century modern little rambler,
I got a townhouse in Robbinsdale. It's on Lake Crystal. It's there's 8 units in this complex. It's kind of a one of a kind in that area. Super cute, super well maintained. The unit itself needs updates. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2+ car garage, 400.
Anything else, get to Lydia before 2 o'clock today and we'll send it out in an email. Fire needs and new listing. All right, have a great day, everybody.